Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Shauna. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. As you know, we are phasing through this periodic table series. However, from time to time, when we are phasing through a series, the Most High will have me cut into it and, have me say something that He wants me to say. We will continue. So far, of the major four, we've done 3 of the 4. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon. We've done hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. We have to do nitrogen next. And we will. My phone got stolen on Sunday, so I couldn't record for a few days. That's the first thing. Not sure if you've been tuning in. And also, the Most High has some other things He wants me to discuss. First and foremost, if you need any kind of tutoring, text me at 201-679-9794 and we can set something up, whether it's for an entry exam, for college, or you just want to do like some refreshing. Let me know. I do English, math, and Spanish, and basic biology up to collegiate level, okay? I'm gonna actually put up my schedule really soon, but I'm just trying to get everything organized, okay? That's first and foremost. I was sitting here having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he said something about once we ascend, that's death, right? I was like, okay, Big Daddy, what are we talking about today? Like, what's the topic? Because some days he'll tell me, like, go ahead and do X, Y, and Z. And other days he's like, don't talk about that. And then he'll tell me. So once we started having this conversation, I knew this was going to be the topic. And it's about graduating spiritually, right? Once you start to break certain cycles, certain curses, whether it's something for you personally or whether it's for the bloodline. If it's for you personally, 9 times out of 10, it's a curse or a spell that you're breaking off from the bloodline, whether it's from the maternal or the paternal side, okay? Now, this graduation in spirit could be multiple things, right? When you stop smoking, when you stop drinking, when you stop hanging out every weekend or every night, when you stop watching porn, when you stop masturbating, when you stop being around people that you know deep down are not good for you, when you stop eating out, when you start eating better, when you start working out, when you start praying, when you start getting rest, right? We all know when something's and something else is set to begin, right? So that's basically what a graduation is. When you have mastered or conquered, a set of courses and obstacles that are related to a goal, right? Obtaining or like completion. So when we were having this conversation, he pretty much was saying that, and we discussed this, on the podcast before, just from a different perspective. But this conversation, he was basically saying that, once we ascend, you die. But my response to that was, but we come here to ascend. And I'm going to give this from different spectrums, right? From different ends of the spectrum. When we come here, we're quite sensitive as newborns, right? As babies. And then as time goes on, we're desensitized. And I mean, in regards to the spirit world, what changes is the consciousness and the awareness. And then the ability to apply what it is that we're consuming through that level of consciousness and awareness, right? Now, when you flip that and put that on the other end, when we come here, we know nothing, right? And then as we ascend and go through these different levels, or graduate, if you will, we start to learn and grow in the spirit, right? So you could look at that from either end. The point is, we all have a purpose. Not everyone knows their purpose. Not everyone knows why God created them, but some people do. If you do, and I've said this multiple times, you have a head start. If you do not, your responsibility is to build a relationship with the Most High and find out what it is He wants you to do. Some people are just lost souls. Some people don't have a purpose. Their purpose is to just be karmic and a catalyst of other things. And I think that that is a great purpose, because these types of energies usually lead to people having spiritual awakenings, right? Now, when you have certain events that happen, meaning life-changing events that lead you, that maybe you skipping a course, right? Bad car accidents, near-death experiences, actual death happening, bringing you to realizations or closer to loved ones, or bringing you in the company of new people. These are all doorways to new beginnings, right? When you graduate, you expect to have something new as a reward for your hard work and the obstacles that you had to endure in order to obtain this goal, or to get, to where you're trying to be. Same thing in the spirit world. As I said to him, we looked at a documentary, in short, about a guy named Little Jungle, and if you have the time, just look it up. And I was saying how that brother was being spiritually attacked, but he was also taking the karma for his bloodline. This is just an example of how things manifest in the spirit, and then they come and manifest down into the 3D. Once something is physically touching you, you have evidence. These were countless attacks on this man's life, being shot in the head more than twice, stabbed up, shot more than 20 times, I think almost 30 times, stabbed a countless amount of times, several attempts on his life in jail. And he's still alive, right? So again, and sometimes, and I'm using that as an example to basically, back up what I'm saying, that we war in the spirit. And I was saying that he was a warrior in the spirit, like he slays galaxies. If he's enduring this much in the physical, that means in the spiritual, he is like a real beast, right? Sometimes the graduation is just winning the attack, not succumbing to the attack, not being overthrown by your adversaries, not, getting what people feel you should do or have or get as a result of what they're inflicting on you. I agree that a lot of things happen behind the scenes. I don't practice dark magic or dark art, so I wouldn't be able to tell you how those things go. Only what the Most High shows me and tells me and gives me insight on. And I know that there are time periods, time frames, actual months and years and seasons reserved to prevent people from graduating and reaching levels that are set to allow new generations and new nations to move forward and spring forward. So what I'm saying is that this is the season of graduation in the spirit. It's time for new levels, And of course, that means what? You already know. Right? So that means the warfare is going to get heavier. The illusions are going to be stronger. The attacks are going to be more frequent and more dense. You're going to have to pray more, fast more, be more discerning, be more patient, be more kind, be more, just overall understanding that everything is happening in the spirit first. So when you see things like people being randomly attacked, being cursed out, acting out in public, just all these things that have nothing to do with being a better person for society, you have to know something else is going on in the background, whether it's something that is being sent to them from a demonic entity, or someone setting up like an altar or doing a ritual on them, or if it's something in the bloodline that needs to be balanced out, because nothing is going to grow in tainted soil, and whatever does grow is going to be tainted as well. It's not going to be the best of fruit, right? The harvest is going to be tainted. It's poisonous, it's toxic. Eventually it'll die out, and if it doesn't die out, it'll actually infect the rest of whatever is around it or whatever it comes into contact with. Our job is to consistently graduate spiritually until we perish. Obviously, we all have different expiration dates and times and causes and all of that good stuff, right? If you're not committing actual, factual, self-ending infliction, then I would assume you are attempting at least to find solutions for whatever problems you may have, or you are doing what needs to be done to maintain whatever is good or worth maintaining. So those are the two ends of the spectrum. There's no going back. There's no negativity. We can't really dwell in places where there's no solution. There's no growth there, right? And that's a part of graduating. That's how you graduate, knowing that only solutions can bring forward good things and better ideologies and more things, and things that will basically lead to a great harvest, a harvest of variation, not just, the same old toxic behavior, or just being stuck in cycles of, same old, that great granddaddy had to, be forced into, and it's just been passed down in the lineage and nobody changed anything, right? When you graduate in the spirit or ascend, that means something new for everyone that comes into contact with you. It's really important for us to have the understanding of being able to ascend spiritually, because eventually, if you don't graduate, that means that you are perpetuating the same exact cycles that those before you have succumbed to. In this conversation, that's what I was saying, because I pretty much said it is a curse when you don't see families having babies, because eventually the bloodline dies out, and ultimately that is stagnation, right? Children are probably one of the main ways of ascending and graduating, but you want to be able to instill in them the proper things before, they go out into the world, hopefully, right? But I'm going to end it there. Please don't be offended. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to raise their children. I'm just giving this spiritual aspect of bloodline warfare and just cycles and patterns that need to be broken off of us all. I have a lot of shit that I'm fighting off of both my bloodlines. I come from warrior and galactic people that are deep in this. All right, but I do love y'all.